to the Gransberry Chronicles weekly pick'em. It's week 13. We back in the house. That's right. I got my boy Coach Pat on the left, and I got my boy D Jones on the right. Did you miss us? A little bit? Just a little bit? Maybe just a little bit,
Maybe.
right? Maybe.
Maybe.
If not, I don't care. But anyway, man, look, it's been an awesome time. Um, just got back from the BK, checked out some basketball right quick. And we just gonna like roll with it. Week 13 is not really that exciting of a week, but I guess that's what people say when they team losing, right? I don't know. But even though we have to do it this way, it's always some games that just don't make the cut. So let's kick it off like we always do, D Jones, and get those games out the way.
All right, this week's get them out the way picks. We are all in agreement on all these picks. Tampa Bay over Atlanta, Arizona to beat Chicago, Minnesota beats Detroit, Miami over the Giants, Philly takes out the Jets, the Rams over Jacksonville, and San Francisco on the road over Seattle. That's
Now
it.
look, let's say this real quick. Chris Jones, I'm still not a believer in anything in San Fran, but sometimes you just have okay versus bad, and you just pick okay. And
Yeah.
since Seattle is playing extremely bad right now, we have to pick the
Okay.
team that's okay.
Okay.
We ain't
Yep.
falling behind no Jimmy G, because the only G on this show that matter is the Gransberry. So let's start off with week game tomorrow. All right, Thursday night football. We got Dallas taking on New Orleans in New Orleans. Dallas may or may not have Amari Cooper back tomorrow. The head coach is out. A few assistant coaches is out. I think if every coach was out and the backup quarterback was in, they would beat the Saints. So I'm not really. I mean, it's we always look forward to this matchup. You know, it's usually a pretty good matchup. It's always a night game. And it kind of sucks, you know, that both teams are suffering at key positions right now with Dallas at defense and offense. And then obviously, you know, quarterback situation in New Orleans. So I'm going to ride with Dallas on the road. I think they still got enough offense. They definitely have enough run game to keep them in this game and get out of there with a win. Coach?
I am going to pick the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're going to go back to trying to do in the running game, which they should have did Thanksgiving Day. But hey, I digress. Dak is better than Taysom Hill. Zeke is better than. We don't know if their running back situation is going to happen. I mean, I'm just
Oh,
saying whether or not
I thought you was about to go there,
Kamara,
bro.
I thought you was about to
Kamara,
say that too.
Kamara's not playing, may not play.
I'm
He's
glad
still
you
Into
caught
questionable. He
yourself.
questionable, right?
no,
He
no,
questionable.
I
He could be
wasn't.
playing.
It's nothing to catch. I was gonna see catch myself. There was nothing
Okay.
to catch on that from that aspect of it. But from the standpoint is Dak can throw the ball. Taysom Hill. Next, go ahead, D Jones.
So I think CD Lamb should be back. He's back at practice this week from being on the concussion protocol. Hopefully Kamara does play for the Saints. They still have him listed as questionable. He could play. But I'm gonna agree with you guys. I'm gonna pick Dallas on this. Really just because of quarterback play. And I don't think the Saints. I believe in the coach there in New Orleans, but talent is talent. Simeon ain't it. I think they're gonna try to have more with Taysom this week, but I still think the Cowboys should win this game. Um, they still make me nervous, but I'm gonna pick the Cowboys on this.
I'm gonna just give a quick shout out to, you know, Dak, and I'm also going to remind fans, people. You know, I ran into Dak in his private moment. Don't matter where I ran into him at. I ran into him outside of basically a football stadium, and fan wanted to take a picture, and it just wasn't the right time. And I just want to reiterate, like when a player is on their personal time, like let them be. You know, when they at the vending machine trying to buy chips, that's not really the moment to run up on them for pictures, right? So let's keep in mind they need their life too. But I do want to give a shout out to him just because he still took the picture with the person and he kept a great attitude about it. And I don't have time to get into the whole story, but it was really a funny story because he was very apologetic about not being able to come away with a win the week before Thursday night's game. And so, look, he want to win too. So I want them to get this win so they can get back on track because you know they taking a skid in a division that they were so far ahead in that you don't want to give anybody else momentum. And a 2-game separation is not much when you still need to play the team that's behind you twice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna still go with Dallas this week and move on to the next game, which is the Chargers versus Cincy. And Chargers been kind of just a little disappointing. I mean, I'm not saying we put too much hype. I still believe in the QB. I still think they got the right man under center. I just still think some things are just, you know, falling backwards, as I would say. And Cincy is on the roll right now, and they at home. They feeling good. They just destroyed the Steelers, and so I just think they keep that momentum going. And I'm going with Cincy. D.
So I think this is probably, looking at the schedule, this could have been a contender for game of the week. I think this is going to be a pretty nice game for the 12 o'clock game. I'll have my eyes on it probably more than any other game, just because of the way both of these teams are playing right now. Like you say, Chargers, they're doing Charger-like things as far as, you know, kind of falling short as the season go by. They had us, you know, believing, and then all of a sudden they took some losses that I don't feel they should have taken, and they haven't looked the way that they did at the beginning of the year. I can see Cincinnati feeling themselves on this, opening the door for the Chargers to come in and perform. But I'm going to take Cincinnati at home, really just because, like you said, you know, those guys are playing with the ultimate confidence right now. They're winning division games that in a tough division. So they on cloud 9. So at home, I see them taking care of their home field and coming away with the win. What about you, Coach?
Burrow against Herbert. That's gonna be a good one.
What's that quarterback name again? Say it from with that Texas accent.
Burrow. Anyways, I say that. I mean, do that, but like you know, D. Jones said, blowout win against the Steelers for the Bengals. I think that's going to help them in this home game. I think they're going to go ahead and beat the Chargers on this one. Chargers kind of struggling here and there. They don't know, you know, how to finish off games, to be quite honest. But I'm going with Cincy this one. One of the few times I've picked Cincinnati, to be fair. I'm going with Cincinnati on this one.
I'm almost a little disappointed we even have to get to the next game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've been highly disappointed. It's like, you know, it's almost I think I got the perfect song that goes with it. And I think everybody would agree because I've been paying my money, you know, flying all around, you know, doing everything I should. Hey, paying for trips, right? Keeping them in a nice place. This bitch got me
smoking out the window.
That's how I feel right now. I'm smoking out the goddamn window, and I ain't never smoked a cigarette, weed in my life. But I've been smoking. I don't know what I'm smoking. Maybe it's vape, air. I don't know. But this team, I tell you, it's nothing to talk about. I'm picking the Colts. Let's just, and I always pick my team. But God damn it, I ain't doing it. Coach.
Jonathan Taylor might just have a 200-yard game.
Might.
What's
Carson Wentz might have some feel-good medicine.
We need to look at the Vegas numbers.
I don't even want to look at that. You know, D. Jones would look at it, but you know, we're just gonna throw a screen pass to the right, run up the middle, then try to
That's a
throw a Hail
lie. We
Mary
ain't never
pass.
ran up the middle. 1 yard
Oh,
run.
he said try. They
Try.
often try.
Okay.
They
Word is
often
try.
try.
I mean, I'm still, you know what?
They try very
I
often,
didn't want to go there,
over
but
and over again.
why? I'm still baffled by the 3rd-and-1 play.
No, I don't want
Coach,
to. No,
Anyways,
no,
Coach,
coach,
who you
no.
picking?
coach win, go.
Okay. God
Coach.
dang it.
Next game. You already know. Come
Yeah,
on now.
next game. It's a
Next
coach
game.
sweep. All right.
Next game.
3rd-and-1, and
Game.
you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, 3rd and
Next
1.
game up, Washington versus Vegas. I'm actually looking forward to this game. Both teams coming off good wins last week, and Washington played a tough game on Monday night. I mean, it was like as soon as they would get in a good position defensively, making good stops, turnovers, they couldn't get enough offensively. So I really think this week, the Raiders are going to have just a little bit more to offer and pick up the win. But I do expect still a good game. I'm actually attending that game, so I'm actually looking forward to it. So for safety, I'll be in all black. And I'll try my best.
For sure. For
I,
sure.
I'll be in all black for my safety. I won't have on any official gear of another team, but I'll be in all black.
Different
So with
locations,
that in mind,
same fools.
But hey, you put the
Different
Gransberry.
locations,
I
same
love
fools.
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
My last encounter didn't go so well with this fan base, and so I'm gonna take a safe route. Look, I even stood up to the Dodgers fans, but I'm not really interested in proving anything against Raiders fans. So, Coach,
You got your seat already?
I got my seat.
It's
I'm
end
looking
zone?
forward to my seat. It's in
End
the end
zone?
zone.
Oh man.
God bless your
Bless
heart.
your heart. Bless you.
Well,
You trying to get the
it's in
full
the end
experience.
zone. I'm sorry.
You trying to get the full experience. Are you on the black hole side? Or
I
they
hope
still have a
not.
black hole, right?
Said, I
Yes,
hope not.
but I hope not, because I'm
All
not
right.
gonna be high-fiving. But I am on row 1, so we'll
okay.
see.
Well, bless your heart.
Yeah.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so we'll see.
You just come home.
I told you I'm being all black.
You just come home and don't bring home nothing you can't get rid of.
Well, a baby, I wouldn't want to get rid of it. Okay, that's a different show. All right, Coach.
It's just
And like you said, 2 good wins. Vegas is at home. Washington is one of those teams you just can't never get rid of. I mean, just can't get rid of them. But I'm going Vegas this one at home.
I'm definitely going Vegas.
I don't think this one's gonna be close.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Wow.
I don't think it's gonna be close. I think even though Washington still has a solid front, they missing Chase. They're gonna miss Chase with the pass rush mainly. And if the way D-Jack is trying to show these cats that he was trying to show the Rams he still had speed and they wasn't using him. Now they used him Thanksgiving. They he might have his eyes open now because this is what they was hoping they was going to get from the guy that got in trouble and got released. Mm-hmm. So I like Vegas in this by more than a touchdown.
Oh, so you
blowout game.
You trying to one up the old coach style? He would say field
goal game. Nah, I'm just saying it's gonna be. I say it's gonna be. I ain't gonna say 2 touchdowns, but more touchdowns.
But you saying a touchdown? That's one score. So I was thinking you was gonna say 10 or more.
About more than a touchdown.
Close in the NFL is less than 4 points. If you're looking at Vegas numbers, a touchdowns or more, that's not a close game. Because in garbage time, you can score stuff in garbage time. So I'm gonna say they win by 10 or more. How about that?
Okay, I like that. Either way, I'm winning this weekend. So I'm gonna check that out. Get some of my favorite popcorn. This time I'm get a little bit more detail with the stadium and report back.
You're going to Vegas. What's your game of choice? You're going to Vegas. What's the game of choice?
So I love dice, right?
So craps.
So craps, but I know this is gonna sound funny, but I always meet interesting people when I play blackjack. So I have to play blackjack because I meet
It's a
interesting
social.
men.
It's
Yeah,
a social sport. It's a social
well,
game.
yeah. It's always somebody interesting at the blackjack table who ends up paying a few games for me, and we end up having a few good conversations. So it's like,
Because you play, it's more of a slow roll. It's more of a slow and
yeah, I
steady
mean,
game.
with the
Crabs got a
dice,
lot going on. Yeah, they got
yeah,
a
if the
lot going
Yeah,
wrong
on.
crap.
person
You got.
buy you, they kill you, they be
Yeah,
talking, you be like, shut up, put your money
yeah,
down,
Leave me
yeah.
alone.
It's about
whatever.
making that money. Yeah, I'm
Right.
with you on that.
But
Okay, I
blackjack
ain't
is
mean to get
more
y'all started.
conversational. You might sip some
Yeah,
cognac, you might be
yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
for a minute. I don't met people that own different stuff. You just learn a lot about people. And
Blackjack is baseball. Craps is basketball.
pretty much. But I like my tall men. So,
Okay.
all righty then. Next game up is Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. Look, we've had our conversations about Pittsburgh and their issues under center, give or take there. But with that in mind, it's an easy pick for me to get this to Baltimore on the road. I don't think Tomlin can coach this team to a win just with the production he's getting out of Ben. I mean, it's two things going on here. One, you have a quarterback that is just aging right before us weekly, right? With poor decision making, inaccuracy, it's just getting worse weekly. It's not improving. So that's why I use the word aging, with no disrespect, just reality. And then secondly, when you're playing a team where the quarterback just came off a win with 4 turnovers, which hasn't happened in a very long time,
Very long time.
and play the worst game of his professional career and still can beat you, I don't anticipate him wanting to repeat that performance. So it's a makeup thing, right? So to me, I'm gonna go out here and show my team, not even just your fans, right? He feels like he played bad for the team. The team had to keep overcoming his mistakes too. So I just expect a good game from Lamar on the road, and I'm riding with the Ravens on this one, Coach.
I am gonna take a page out of D. Jones's book. This is not gonna be close. It's not. It's not going to be close. Baltimore is just when they play mad. If they're gonna play mad in Pittsburgh, yeah. And Father Tom is always undefeated. Remember that.
Undefeated. Except with Brady. You gotta give Brady the win. Go ahead.
Except
He's
for
Sorry.
in,
Brady.
no, no, no. So
Except
no, no,
Brady is totally
no,
different.
no, no.
That's a totally
So first of all, you both are correct, because with every rule there is what? An exception.
exception.
So the
Yeah.
rule is Father Time is undefeated. The exception is Brady. That's just it. We don't even
Mm-hmm.
have
Well,
to
you
have
said
no more discussion.
you saying he undefeated. He done lost one. He done lost one.
No, no,
I'm
no.
Okay.
He
just
said
saying.
No,
Father
no,
Time.
no.
That's just my opinion. I know what you're saying. Ultimately,
Oh,
Brady's gonna come to an end, so he'll be undefeated. But I'm like, you gotta go and get Brady the victory over Father Time. He's doing stuff that he ain't supposed to be doing. But go ahead. I ain't mean to get you off. I ain't mean to
No,
but
get you
you
off.
I
good.
agree with
You
you.
good. No, that's a good. I mean, that's a good comeback to what I was saying because, I mean, I just don't. You don't have a running game in Pittsburgh. I mean, what do you have?
And
You
that's
got
the next
Najee.
game. So before we move to the next game, we're going to talk about Charles. Shout out to Charles. You want to know if I'm bringing candy corn during blackjack? That would be an absolute no, unless it's stuck on the bottom of my shoe. And speaking on the bottom of my shoe, all right, San Fran and Seattle. Look here.
No, we weren't talking about that one.
I
We
know
did
that,
that
but
one.
I
Get out
want
the way.
I want to make my analogy about my candy corn and where I think Jimmy G at. It was okay. I'm sorry, that's not nice. All right,
You, you let Chuck get you off.
I'm sorry. I just had to throw a little bit more shade at Chris. I'm sorry. I was about to put it under the shoe. I'm sorry.
No,
Look, we gonna go and move on to Denver versus KC. Okay, that's fair. Y'all ready? Look, KC is back looking like KC. And surprisingly, defense is showing up. So I shouldn't even say back looking like KC. They're getting more production out of the defense than they have in a while, right? And it's pretty clear to me that they're kind of more in a rhythm now. And in their division, it's still, to me, the Raiders can still have a shot. I just don't know how much that shot is going to be against the Chiefs. But if the Chiefs keep going like they're going, they're gonna be right back, where they were, because it is about who gets hot toward the end and keeps that consistency and injuries down. And I think right now, the AFC, there's nothing in the AFC that anyone has to fear, right? Mahomes has made enough mistakes. You don't fear him. The Chiefs defense has made enough. The Bills, we don't know which team's showing up. Is it the one, that was almost there last year, but blew out the Texans 0-40? Like, we don't know. We just don't know. And at that rate, I expect Denver to give it a good push, but I'm still rolling with KC. Coach?
KC. Simple. KC's going to win this one, and that's just the bottom line. I mean, I know Bridgewater lead. Bridgewater is like second in completion percentages, but I think KC is starting to catch their momentum.
You know how I feel about division games, and this is going to be one of those. Denver going to get up for this game. This is probably one of their biggest games of the season, except for when they play the Chargers. So I expect Denver to put up a fight in this game. Ultimately, I'm going to pick Kansas City to take care of this game at home. I expect it to be a good game, though. I don't think Kansas City is back to being Kansas City. I think Kansas City just they had a good part of their schedule to get what coaches call feel good medicine. I still think you can get them in shootouts, and as long as you can kind of hang with them and take their big punch, then you can stick with them. But they're going to play different at home, so they'll cover this game. But expect Denver to at least put up a fight, being a division game.
Before we get into game of the week, I'm gonna just go back to Mr. Gonzalez. Let's talk for a second. Everybody is inconsistent at times. It happens.
I feel him now.
But I feel what you're saying, but the inconsistency to me was the game last week. And so my point is now he kind of gets back on track. So I don't expect him to quote unquote ball out every week and have this MVP season like he did before. We all still talk about that, right? And that's a good question or statement. Right now, nobody even makes you think like they've ran away with the MVP race, and we have 6 weeks of football left, right? And usually by now we got a top 3. Mm-hmm. I can't even give you 3 consistent quarterbacks 80% of the season. It's 3.
You say it's 3?
3. We quiet too long, and it's 32 teams, and we know 3 got sucky quarterbacks. 2 start with the letter G. One had General Mills in for a long time, so
that's another
G going on.
You're gonna make them G's work up
all day. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to game of the week. And ironically, it's already our Monday night game, and that's New England versus Buffalo. And even here, of course, Belichick has been doing his thing, which we pretty much expected. And you never underestimate Belichick. You just can't. Many a times when we talk about the Patriots, we say, who did you pick? And you'd be like, I picked the coach. You didn't pick the team, you picked the coach. And I just think he has them he's coaching them up right now on a great level. And I think it's going to be a really good game if the right Bills show up. Going back to that inconsistency comment, anybody could be inconsistent. And so with that in play, which Bills will we see? Dijon?
I think we're gonna see the good version of the Bills. Me personally, I think they're gonna get up for this game. Unfortunately, they've been playing down to some of their competition. But I agree. I think this is a good game of the week. It's going to be a good Monday night game to watch. Belichick and that defense is crushing. They're killing right now with their front. The rookie quarterback is delivering. They putting him in good spots to where it's like, I hate to see it happen all over again for them, to where they don't have just a standout receiver, but they continue to make good plays on offense. And it's almost like, I'm not comparing him to Brady, but it's almost like they just plugged in, another guy into that system that works. And you got to give Josh McDaniels some credit for that. I mean, he has to get some of the credit. We give Belichick a lot of credit for that team, but Josh McDaniel runs that offense, and he runs it perfectly on game day. I'm sure Belichick is a part of the game plan, but as far as Josh McDaniels and working with that quarterback, you got to give him credit and look for his name to show up in some coaching things after the season. I'm sure he's going to come up after seeing what he did with Jones. But yeah, I think Buffalo is going to win this game. It's going to be a close one, but I think Buffalo pulls it out. What'd you say, Coach?
So quick question, because I'm not really sure before you go, Coach. If anybody could tell me, is he also the QB coach?
Not sure.
Yeah, because that would be my question. And we obviously still would give him a great amount of credit. And the reason I ask is because, one, obviously he knows what works for Mac, right? And he's calling plays that keeps Mac in a comfortable position, offers him the right check downs and everything else. He is, Coach, was that your answer to me? Right.
Yes.
And so to me, that's a great duality, right? Because you are trying to improve him weekly, and then you're also able to execute it on the field at the game as far as calling plays. What we do know for sure is Belichick is very much involved in the sense of keeping in touch with what decisions are being made offensively, defensively, and special teams. We've seen that during games, right? Where they're checking with Belichick to see which way would he like to go, and then they dial it up based on who's on the field at the time, meaning offense, defense, and special teams. So I think you're right, but I also wonder that even if his name comes up, it's very different to move over and be that head coach, because then we've talked about that similarly to the Andy Reid situation, right? We call him the great play caller, right? But there's something when you're improving and the quality of your player, like there's still so much to get out of Mac, right? Right now he looks like system guy, plug-in guy,
right?
But he hasn't maxed his potential.
No, he's a rookie.
Right.
But do you want that, or do you want to go be the rookie coach?
He wouldn't be a rookie coach though. He wouldn't be a rookie coach.
Well, I'm saying if you go, I don't mean rookie and skill set. I'm just saying moving away from the system.
But he did. That's what I'm saying. Remember, he left and he came back. So
I know, but obviously, my point is about leaving.
Right.
You on an island.
So what I'm saying about this is he left. He had that experience. He's come back. He's grown even more. So that would make him more attractive than, say, starting with somebody. I mean,
I'm asking it the other way, though. I'm not saying he's not attractive. I have him at the top too. I'm saying, do you think that's where he wants to go, or would he like to see him expand his development with the QB he already got right there? Because you could go be a head coach, but do you get the right guy under center? Because it still takes both.
It still takes. Remember, these guys all got egos too, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he wouldn't have left
Okay.
Tom Brady if that was the case. He would have stayed and rode Tom Brady as many championships or whatever he could until he got off that ship. So I don't think they have anything to do with it. Everybody want to run their own household. They don't just
Yeah.
stay at home.
Yeah,
So
I run
I
mine.
mean,
You're
I
right.
mean, like D Jones
with
just
most
said, and
people,
both of y'all are saying, y'all are saying the same, same thing. I was gonna kind of, but in different ways. McDaniels is essentially the head coach of the offense with a little bit of help from Belichick. Belichick has more say so on the defensive side. I mean, you got your son as the not even the DC. He's the linebackers coach calling plays. So that tells you one thing. But I mean, he's gonna be the head coach, the CEO of the program. And I think when McDaniels made that mistake with Denver, he tried to basically be like Belichick. And maybe this time around, if he does take another opportunity, it's different. Because remember, Belichick's first opportunity wasn't that great either. So,
Right.
with
Right.
Cleveland and of course, the Brady, takeover after Bledsoe gets hurt, the legend grows. But and we've talked about this in our group chat. Mac Jones and that system just they fit. I mean, it's just a natural fit. It was just like, they got rid of Cam and said, hey, we're gonna go with this. And they're gone, and then they got a little bit of running game come with it. Their defense is stout. Like D Jones is always telling us about their defense coming back from the COVID season. So they've gotten their talent back. And then you add Matt Judon from the Ravens to add on to that. And then the Bills, hopefully the Bills would get their act together, so to speak, as far as going away. But they need to run the ball a little bit more outside of Josh Allen, and that maybe will help their offensive side. With that being said, I'm going to go with their winning streak and New England by 3 field goal game with this because I
I
think
knew it.
it's
I
going to
knew.
be.
That's
I
why I didn't
mean,
take your
it's
son.
going
I
to be
started to
a.
say it.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be a very good game. You
It's gonna
know,
be good.
I think, like you said, I think the Bills going to come back and get their little mojo back here and there, but New England's just rolling. I'm going with the Patriots and Belichick.
More Belichick than Patriots.
Um, no, more Patriots. It's a team.
I about to say
Okay.
not at this point.
It's a
Okay.
team now. I mean,
Okay.
it's a team.
Earlier this
And
year
you
we was
talk
picking
about a
Belichick.
coach,
Right.
but like you said, but you talk about a coach that puts their stamp on their team. Last year he couldn't really do that because he didn't have the quarterback
Well, he didn't.
play.
He had a lot of guys that opted
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, a lot
So
So we
of
got that
yeah, a
right.
lot of people
So
out.
yeah. So I'm going with the Patriots in this one in a close game. I want to see a good game, and you know, we do that.
mm.
You
Oh
can
my
best believe
gosh.
though,
You
Josh
know
gonna have
what?
to have a good game.
You you're having too much fun, and I'm not even about to
Yeah,
entertain that.
that's funny. That's funny. He does look. I mean, like Steven when
No, we're not about to do it. We're not about to do it. I can't with him.
he.
I can't. I can't. I can't.
Oh
Look,
wow!
look.
Wow.
I want to, make sure I do a awesome plug before the guys tell you good night and where you can find them. I have some new colors to add to my purse collections that are being presented. I'm actually going to have the black one myself this weekend. Actually, I'm in debate. And maybe I'll do a short thing with that because I also have I have a silver and black, right? And I'm debating, do I want to do silver and black or black and silver? Because I have both. And then I've added a red to the collection. Yeah, let's get that red in here. That's right. I got that red in there. Right. So yeah, ladies, you need to get back on the site, check it out. Maybe I didn't have the color you wanted the first time, but second time around, I might have something for you. And we're gonna let the guys say goodnight. We appreciate y'all joining us. We glad to be back in this thing. Oh, hey, Crystal. Look, Crystal. Shout out to Crystal. Crystal already has the champagne coffee color. She has that beautiful blue. And look, she's still trying to get more in her collection. But you can too, because the Gransberry.com is open 24/7, baby. Now, that's not how my offense is looking, but that's definitely how my website is working. And so, speaking of websites, social media, and handles, Coach, tell the people where they can find you.
Coach B Pat on Twitter and Instagram. Hit me up.
D Jones, what's up? He ain't even switch to you. Saw how he left you hanging? He was so
That's
busy
all
trying
good,
to
man.
give out his entanglement contact. He didn't
No,
even say,
my
let me know,
fault.
D Jones.
My bad.
I'm gonna put his number on there next time.
We
Yeah.
rusty.
So he can be married at first sight.
Hey, we rusty. We ain't been on a while. Married first sight. It was very disappointing this season, by the way. Go ahead.
On Instagram, D Jones 9804. On Twitter, that boy D Jones. And fellas, just to piggyback on what Gransberry say, if you bad at gift giving, go get your girl that purse. Get your girl that bag.
I got some
She ain't never gonna be
basketball
mad at that.
purses too. If she
She
not
ain't gonna
in the
never be mad at a
football,
bag.
huh?
I say she ain't gonna never be mad at a bag.
Nah, I got some basketball ones too. You know, you can let us shoot a shot. But look, you can find me at the Gransberry.com. Gransberry on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and the great TikTok. Look, before the year is over, I'm planning on giving out 2 college scholarships. So look for me to drop that information soon. It's like really important to me to do it. I'm always thinking at the end of the year how to give back and what to do. So I'm going to have some awesome giveaways. I'm going to give away some free breakfast. I'm going to give away some coffee, some of my favorite things, right? You know, I ain't Oprah's favorite things, but you can get in on my favorite things. But to do that, you have to be following me on social media to know when I drop them. And you also need to become a part of the Good Morning Only crew, because we want to see you smile every day. Okay. So with that in mind, I want to thank everybody that came back, followed up, and it always hits me up. I appreciate all of you. I love you dearly. But at some point, I always have to go. And when it's time to go, I want you to remember, we love you dearly, and we'll just have to catch you next time. Peace. Oh, wait. Shout out to everybody who stayed to the end, because you are the real superheroes. Peace.